Wouldn't you know it? I bought more books. Shocker, I know. Back with another book haul video. Back from the long 4th of July week of celebrations. Uh, my buddy Luke, who you guys might know from my Red Rising review video and book haul video, good friend of mine, he came in town for the holidays. And yesterday we went out to a couple of bookstores, a couple of thrift shops, and we found some really cool stuff. So um, I know what you're here for. You want to see it. And so here it is. A lot of sci-fi, a lot of vintage sci-fi, a couple fantasy, and a surprise at the end that I found at a thrift store that I need some help figuring out if it's actually like unique or rare. So anyway, we'll kick it off with good old Harlan Ellison, Web of the City. They had quite a bit of Ellison, not all cheap enough for me to get the entire section that they had, but this was a $4 book, and I was like thinking it was in pretty good shape. Let's see what else we got. Robert Sheckley, Pilgrimage to Earth. I think this was like a $3 or $4 book. Bantam. I've heard Sheckley talked about recently on, I think, Ira's channel, I want to say. And I don't know. He intrigues me, and I saw his name, and I just, yeah, I wanted to pick that one up. Let's see. Nebula Winners 13, edited by Samuel R. Delaney. This one has Harlan Ellison, Raccoona Sheldon, Spider and Gene Robinson, John Varley, Edward Bryant, and Vonda McIntyre. So, pretty good lineup there. This is the best of Eric Frank Russell. And these Del Rey best ofs are becoming one of my favorite things to find in the wild. I get so excited when I find these. This was a $10 book. It wasn't as cheap as a lot of these were, but I was very excited to find this one. I know that Richard over at Vintage Sci-Fi, Ira at Science Fiction Words of Wonder, and Matt at Science Fiction Reads do that great series on these Del Rey best ofs. I'll link them down in the description because they do awesome discussions. I really was one of the ones that made me want to like really find these was they did one on Philip K. Dick, and I really would love to find one of these Del Rey PKDs out in the wild. So yeah, if you're interested in that, I'll link it down below. But I was stoked to find that one. We have a Arthur C. Clarke Childhood's End with the great Stanislaw Fernandez cover. This was $1.12, and I was almost offended that such a great book with such great cover art would be so cheap. Astounding Tales of Space and Time, edited by John W. Campbell. This one doesn't have a great lineup, I don't think, but it was a couple bucks. But Eric Frank Russell, Jack Williamson, Theodore Sturgeon, T.L. Sherrod, H.B. Fife, and Murray Leinster. Excuse me. So, pretty cool. We have a big old classic, Stand on Zanzibar. And apologies if this thing is gonna glare with the sleeve on it, but it's got a bunch of tape on the back that I don't really feel like taking off. So you can see it, right? This thing's a tome. Big old boy. Excuse me. Need to get something to drink, but I've already started, so whatever. Spider Robinson's Time Travelers, Strictly Cash. Look at that cover. What is happening? Blue Dragon Man in like, what is that? Like prison clothes? I don't know. It's just, I bought that strictly for the cover. Theodore Sturgeon, Venus plus X. Absolutely mint condition in the Dell. Pretty cool. That was $2. Great prices at this half price books that we went to and got a lot of this from. Michael Moorcock's The Rune Staff. This is the 4th and final volume in the history of the Rune Staff. So, yeah, These Moorcock Daws are not too common and usually priced up a bit. That one was $5. I think, forgive me real quick, I feel like I have two Moorcocks in the Daw. Here's the first one in Runestaff, and then here's an Elric novel. So I have number 1 and number 4 from Michael now. All right, another Daw. I bought this for the cover alone as well. Lynn Carter's Kesrick, an adult fantasy. I know nothing about it. I don't know when I'll read it, if I ever read it, but look at that cover. I'll show you one more time. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Damon Knights. A for Anything. That's a cool cover. The famous editor, Damon Knight, who I still have yet to read. But, yeah. $3 book. Worth. This is an ace double I got for a couple bucks. Suzette Hayden Elgin, Communipaths. Beautiful cover. And then Lewis Trimble with The Noblest Experiment in the Galaxy. Both of them are very, very soft, pretty covers. A little like robot holding a flower, and then like old-timey man and wife maybe or something. I don't know. It's a pretty one. I like that. Lee Brackett. Eric John Stark, Outlaw of Mars. I've heard good things. Really want to read Lee Brackett. I actually have one of her Del Rey best ofs, so if I end up getting to those at some point, not just collecting them, I really need to read that one. Asimov's The End of Eternity. Heard good things about this one, actually. At some point, I will I will review Foundation, because that is the only Isaac Asimov book I've read. This one, I'm going to cover it up. I'm not flipping you off, I promise. This is Mike Resnick's Sideshow, Tales of the Galactic Midway. Literally bought for I swear, I'm not flipping you off. I bought this for the cover alone, because like, look at that. Hope you can see that well enough. I'm gonna really get in close. Hopefully it's focusing a little bit. Just a stupid cover, and I love it. Here's a vintage Fahrenheit 451 I got for $3. I have been holding out buying like a cheap version of this because it's everywhere, but I wanted to find a cool edition. Jack Vance's not The Big Planet, just Big Planet, with a really like distorted cover. Looks like if you put like one lens of the 3D glasses you used to get at the movies on, you'd see everything in like double. I don't know anything about that, Vance. Clash of Star Kings, Avram Davidson. That's cool. And if you recognize it, the two of you that probably do, that watched my Philip K. Dick Maze of Death video, this is the same ace typeface that they used from that. So they reused it. Interesting little tidbit. All right, we're getting into some really good stuff now. Got just a couple more to show you. This I've never seen out in the wild, and I don't know if it's any good. I've not actually heard in the few comments I've read about it that it's nearly as good as its predecessor. But this is the sequel to Canticle for Leibowitz, called Saint Leibowitz and the Wild Horsewoman. And I believe that this was published posthumously. Not 100% sure about that, but I do think that, yeah, copyright 1997 by the estate of Walter M. Miller Jr. So that's kind of neat. I really liked Canticle for Leibowitz. There is, if you're interested in that, have read or want to read that book, there I have a review on the channel because I really did like that book. And I wonder, that being done, yeah, I bet this edition was published around the same time. Cool. So anyway, that's just that's one that I was very excited to find because like I said, I'd never seen that out in the wild before. So yeah, this is a really neat one that is just super weird. I found this at the thrift store. George Alec Effinger's Utopia 3. Very, very beat up. Water damage, unfortunately, but it was published by Playboy Press in 1980. First Playboy Press paperbacks printing in 1980. And you rarely see him out in the wild. He's hard to find, and I just saw this and was like, what am I looking at? There's not like you can't find this book online really. It's very, very scarce. I don't know if it's like worth anything or unique, but it's just cool because I've never seen like a Playboy Press edition of a book like this. So yeah, I'll give you another gander. You got the Alice in Wonderland cat up here. It's, yeah, like I said, severely damaged by water, unfortunately, but really cool find. This serendipitous thing. So yesterday morning, I woke up. First thing I did was I was watching YouTube in bed, and Ira of Science Fiction Words of Wonder, his channel came up, and he did a review on The Beast That Shouted Love at the Heart of the World by Harlan Ellison. I'm going to pull this out of the sleeve, actually. But he did a review on it, and I was like, that sounds really interesting. I've never heard of that book. I'm going to try to find that sometime. And lo and behold, the edition that he even said was kind of hard to come by, that is sought after, I found it for $15. Excuse me. And I thought that was kind of a steal when I looked how much it was on like eBay. So very cool. And now we get to the end, which same thrift store that I found this book at. I look up on the shelf in the young adults section and I find Harry Potter, right? And you see Harry Potter's quite a bit at thrift stores. You know, there's tons of them. I think, yeah, wouldn't you know it? I have 3 beat up copies just sitting here next to my desk. I have plenty of Harry Potter. It's not that I got it because I don't have a copy of Sorcerer's Stone, but I'm not sure where the year 1 is on this. Because if you look, oh, great. My copy of Sorcerer's Stone's been ripped to pieces. Can't even have it on there. The when they started publishing multiple Harry Potters after the second one came out, they started putting the year in which they're in school on the side. So year 1, 2, 3, and so on. And I saw that at one point, I think on like Pawn Stars, somebody was trying to sell. Luke, my buddy, told me about this, and I remember like either being told about it, I watched a video on it maybe or something. But anyway, there's a little note I had in the back of my head that if you ever see a Harry Potter without that, it could be a very early unique printing, maybe a first edition. So this thing's beat up. It's got names in it. There's no dust jacket. It's worn down. But if you go to the copyright page, it says text copyright 1997 J.K. Rowling, illustrations copyright 1998. Excuse me. But I don't see any kind of first, second, third printing, any of that kind of stuff. I mean, this has to be a very early printing if it's not a first edition. So yeah, whether it is or not, I just think it's really cool just because I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. Like many people my age, it was a huge influence on me becoming a reader. So this is just a special book. to me now, because I just like, you just don't come across stuff like this very often. So anyway, super cool find. I'm really glad I found that. Let me know in the comments if you know anything about this or how to identify what kind of like rarity this is, because this has got to be unique in some way, right? I mean, anyway, super cool. And then lastly, that's the book haul. That's everything that I got when I was out yesterday. But lastly, I wanted to do an update on a poll that I recently put out. This was a couple weeks ago now, but I put a poll out for, I think, something I called 3 under 3, which was kind of an impulse thing. I'm a little bit frustrated at myself for doing it because now I don't want to read the book. But I put 3 books up on a poll that all have under 3-star ratings on Goodreads. And the first was Power by Lawrence Jennifer, The Star Seekers by Dav Garnett, and Mutiny in Space by Avram Davidson. And I let you guys vote on the book that had terrible reviews that I would read, and it happened to be this guy. So Avram Davidson, you are going to get read. Mutiny in Space. So anyway, I wanted to let those of you know who voted in that this was the one that came out on top, and that I will be reading it and reviewing it on the channel at some point. I'm not eager to get to it, but when I make a promise, I'm going to keep it. So anyway, Mutiny in Space. That's the 3 under 3 choice that I'm going to do. So anyway, thank you again for watching all these videos. I'm really appreciative of the support. I say that like every video, but truly, like, seeing the support and the constant engagement on this stuff has been so much fun. So if you know any of these books, if you're interested in any of them, if you had fun watching, if you have dumb, thoughts for me that you just want to share, if you have opinions, if you have recommendations, if you have anything at all that you would like to say, you know where to put it. Thank you so much for watching. I will put the in the description, like I said, I'll put those channels of those guys, those great booktubers who do the Best of Del Rey series. But anyway, that's been your boy Dad Like Book. I hate that. I like. Why do I say that? It's such a weird way to do it. No, I don't know how to end a video. I'll stop there. All right. I'll see you in the next one. Gosh, I don't know how to end a video. See ya.